Are you finding it harder to get a good night's sleep now that you're over 60? You're definitely not alone. Many folks in their retirement years experience changes in their sleep patterns. But did you know that some of your regular evening habits might actually be keeping you awake? Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into 6 common things older adults often do before bed that can really mess with their sleep. We'll not only point out what these habits are, but we'll also give you simple tips you can use right away to start sleeping better. Getting good quality sleep is so important for feeling your best, having energy, and staying healthy as we age. So, if you're ready to learn how to finally get the restful sleep you deserve, stick around. You might just find the answer you've been looking for. Habit number 1. Using electronic devices before bed. Ever wonder why you have trouble falling asleep after spending time on your phone or tablet? Well, here's the deal. The bright blue light that these devices emit can really mess with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Think of it like this. That blue light signals to your brain that it's still daytime, which in turn tells your body to hold off on producing melatonin. And melatonin is the key hormone that helps you feel tired and get ready for sleep. Let's say you're like a lot of folks, including our friend John. John is 65 and enjoys catching up on the news on his tablet while he's in bed before turning out the lights. He finds that even though he feels tired, he often lies awake for quite a while. That's likely because the blue light from his tablet is tricking his brain into thinking it should still be awake. So, a really helpful tip is to try and put away all those electronic devices, your phone, your tablet, your e-reader, for at least 30 minutes, and ideally an hour, before you plan to go to sleep. Habit number 2. Drinking too many fluids or diuretics in the evening. Let's think about someone like Mary. Mary is 70 and she's very good about staying hydrated during the day. She drinks her water and feels great, but she has this habit of having a big glass of water right before she gets into bed. The problem is, this often leads to her waking up a couple of times during the night to go to the bathroom, and it really messes with her sleep. The reason this can be an issue is pretty straightforward. When your bladder gets full, it's going to send signals to your brain that it's time to empty it. This can pull you out of those deeper, more restful stages of sleep. Also, keep in mind that some drinks you might enjoy in the evening, like coffee, tea, and even some sodas, can act as diuretics. That means they make your body produce more urine, which will only increase those nighttime trips to the bathroom. So, a helpful tip here is to try and cut back on how much you're drinking in the 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. And maybe swap that evening cup of tea or coffee for something that doesn't have caffeine. Habit number 3. Eating dinner too late or too much. Here's something to think about. When you eat a big meal, especially close to bedtime, your digestive system has to go into overdrive. This process can actually keep you awake or make it harder to fall into a deep sleep. Plus, lying down soon after a large meal can sometimes lead to uncomfortable heartburn or indigestion that can definitely disrupt your night. So, what can you do about it? A good rule of thumb is to try and finish your dinner at least 3 hours before you plan on hitting the hay. And when you do eat in the evening, maybe opt for something a little lighter and easier for your body to digest, rather than those heavy, rich foods. Let's take Bob. For instance, Bob is 72, and he used to eat his main meal of the day around 8 or 9 o'clock at night, often having a pretty substantial dinner. He noticed he was having trouble falling asleep and would frequently wake up feeling uncomfortable. Since he started eating his dinner earlier in the evening and making it a bit lighter, he's found he sleeps much better. Habit number 4. Lack of physical activity or exercising too close to bedtime. Let's consider someone like Sarah, who's 63 and recently retired. She's been trying to establish a healthier routine, which includes getting more exercise. She decided that taking a brisk walk every evening right after dinner would be a good way to wind down before bed. However, despite her efforts, she's still struggling to fall asleep easily. The important thing to remember here is that while regular physical activity is fantastic for your overall well-being and can definitely contribute to better sleep, the timing of your workouts can make a big difference. Engaging in a high-intensity exercise session to close to bedtime can actually have a stimulating effect on your body. It can raise your body temperature and increase your heart rate, making it harder to relax and prepare for sleep. The ideal approach is to aim for regular physical activity throughout the day, but try to schedule those more vigorous workouts at least 3 to 4 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Activities like a morning walk, gardening in the afternoon, or even a gentle yoga session earlier in the evening can be much more conducive to a good night's rest. Habit number 5. Relying on alcohol to fall asleep. Here's a piece of advice you might hear sometimes. Having a little nightcap can help you drift off to sleep. And while it's true that alcohol can sometimes make you feel drowsy and help you fall asleep initially, it often comes at a cost to the quality of your sleep later in the night. Consider our friend Mark, who's 66. He occasionally enjoys a glass of wine in the evening to help him unwind after a long day. While he might fall asleep relatively quickly, he often finds himself waking up in the middle of the night feeling restless and unable to easily fall back asleep. The reason for this is that as your body processes the alcohol, it can actually disrupt your sleep cycles. It tends to reduce the amount of time you spend in the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep. And it can also lead to more fragmented sleep with more frequent awakenings. So, even though you might fall asleep faster, you're not getting the truly restful sleep your body needs. Habit number 6. Not having a consistent sleep schedule. Here's a really important one that many people overlook: not having a regular sleep schedule. Think of your body as having an internal clock, often called your circadian rhythm. This clock regulates all sorts of things, including when you feel tired and when you feel awake. It thrives on regularity. When you go to bed and wake up at different times every day, even on weekends, it throws this internal clock out of whack. Imagine someone like George, who is 68 and retired. Some nights he might feel tired around 9 p.m. and go to bed, but other nights he might stay up until midnight watching TV. Then, on the weekends, he might sleep in until 10 or 11 in the morning to catch up. This inconsistent pattern makes it really difficult for his body to know when it's actually time to sleep and when it's time to be awake. As a result, he often feels tired during the day, even if he thinks he's getting enough hours of sleep overall. His sleep at night is often restless and not very deep because his body's natural rhythm is constantly being confused. The key to a healthy sleep cycle is consistency. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day, even on your days off. This helps to strengthen your body's natural sleep-wake rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling refreshed. Even a difference of an hour or two can make a big impact on your sleep quality over time. So, are any of these evening habits sounding familiar to you? Let me know which number you might be guilty of in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more helpful videos on health and lifestyle for older adults. And don't forget to share this video with anyone you know who might be struggling with their sleep. Do you have any other great tips for getting a good night's rest? Share them in the comments below. So, just to quickly recap. Remember to be mindful of these 6 common bedtime habits that can really impact your sleep quality as you get older. Making even small adjustments can lead to significant improvements in how well you sleep and how you feel each day. We truly hope this information helps you on your journey to more restful nights and brighter mornings. Wishing you all the best in getting the deep, rejuvenating sleep you deserve, so you can continue to enjoy a healthy, happy, and energetic life. Sweet dreams, everyone.